Hi, I'm Tina Cummins,
I'm Belinda Powers. We are,
your crime sages. Welcome back, everyone, to another interesting little tidbit tonight. So I got a response from Heather Smith, and I made you aware of it, Belinda. I don't know if the public's seen it, but after my analysis of Heather Smith's statement, I received a response today, and I would like to share that with our viewers. Okay, so here we go. Heather Smith, my real name. I am from and live in Canada and have never read Shakespeare. The runaway horse I referred to was filmed running down the highway while a news update was taking place on Summer. I am an elderly mother who lost my only child and then raised my 3 grandbabies. I am not evil. In fact, very spiritual with high morals and ethics. How in God's name have you so grossly misread my comment? I am in such grief over this child's summer's fate and enraged about the lack of action mandated to protect and rescue the vulnerable. I'm bewildered how your abilities failed you so dismally. Maybe more prayer, self-analysis, and sleuthing is in order, along with the retraction of your horrific characterization of my person and intent. May God show you favor when you redeem yourselves. Shame on you for being so careless with another's emotional being. And my response was, do you understand your own words? Running around trying to raise hell, busting out of her traces. Do you understand that in your words, you're claiming that Summer is alive and trying to escape from something? I didn't put those words out there. You did. For whatever you went through with your child, I'm sorry for your pain. But do you realize this is a real missing child? And for you to put words in there like that speaks volume of your lack of comprehension, not mine. Perhaps you should think before you write. The shame belongs to you because this is no game. You, not me, claim that you know Summer is not in peace. You did that. I want to talk about her statement for a minute. Okay. She wants to know, how in God's name have you so grossly misread my comment? First of all, I don't know who's on the other side of that computer, and we're working on a missing child's case. I don't know who it is. So when someone writes something claiming that this child is stomping around and raising hell and isn't at peace yet, use your brain, Heather, and think of why I would misinterpret that if in fact I did.
right.
Use your brain and think, oh, this person's looking for a missing child. Perhaps I shouldn't write that. But you're the one who wrote that you're not going to make a platitude. Okay, so you're not going to make a flat statement if you understand what that means. And that specifically comes from Shakespeare. The way you constructed your words was thought out. Instead of just saying, I can't bear the thought of this child being out there, being abused, being in the situation she was in, and I think it was horrible, and now she's missing and it's breaking my heart. No, you constructed a very specific statement using Shakespearean talk. And then you want to turn around and twist it like I did something wrong when you're the one who claimed that you know that Summer isn't at rest yet, that she's stomping around, raising hell, busting out of her traces, just like that runaway plow horse. I've read it so many times, I have it in my head. Okay, so don't try to put this off on me. I'm not falling for it. I still do not know if you are truly a grandmother on the other side of this computer who lost a child and raised her children. And if in fact that did happen, I am sorry for you. Okay, but do not attack me and say that my analysis was dismally incorrect and I need to stop sleuthing and all of the other things. I need to do more sleuthing. Okay, this is about speech analysis, and if you don't comprehend the words that you're trying to write, perhaps you need to reconsider writing. Any thoughts on it, Belinda?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's not the average vocabulary that people use on day to day.
Heather Smith, you made it very clear that I was referring to the filmed. It says the runaway horse I referred to was filmed running down the highway while the news was updating. How do I know you didn't read that in the comments? Because that's what a lot of people ask. How do I know you're just not a troll on the other side of this looking for attention? How do I know you didn't kidnap Summer? I am coming from a place of trying to find a child, and you're going to put some nonsense out there like that and then want me to decipher what you mean? So I did. And your statement still means that Summer, in your mind, is alive and she's stomping around trying to raise hell. Those are your words, not mine.
Yeah, and she's not at peace yet.
No. And she's not at peace. And she's trying to bust out of her traces. That is specifically from Shakespeare. So don't even try it. Now, again, if you're not evil, then you will apologize for your misuse, mischaracterization, and misleading and wasting the time of TBI and the FBI, because that's the last thing I want to do, being that their resources are shallow already, looking for this child. So, in saying that, I did turn a tip into TBI and the FBI. And your YouTube blocks your channel blocks anyone from seeing any of your information. That's an intentional thing. Not that they don't have ways of finding out. Okay, let's make that clear. And I still don't know if it's a mature grandma on the other end. I certainly didn't fail in my analysis of it. You failed in your use and characterization of the words that you specifically chose. Anything you'd like to add?
And we're deeply sorry if she is a mom and a grandma.
If you are,
but
and this was an innocent mistake.
Yeah, but don't come on a channel and be putting that stuff out there because it looks like it's more to it than what it is.
Exactly.
That's the case. To say what you got to say.
Yes.
That's it.
Speak plainly. If you feel bad that this child is missing and you feel she was mistreated at home, you feel she was abused and society failed her, then say that.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure everyone could agree. It is sad.
But that still doesn't explain her final statement. She's not going to make a platitude. Okay, so explain your final statement to me. I'd certainly like to know what you meant by her busting out of her traces, stomping around, raising hell. What did you mean by that? So again, yesterday we were talking about SA, and I'm going to call it SA because I'm going to make this available for younger viewers. Excuse me. So it's come out that, there's some other allegations of other family members. And again, I just want to reiterate this. Anybody who suffered at the hands of someone else and is a victim of that type of abuse, they're not guilty for that. And, you know, they have a right to be heard. They have a right to justice. They have a right to counseling. They have a right to heal. And when we were discussing Don's admittance of the things he'd done, remember it was to a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old. We were also talking about how the victimizer or the victim becomes the victimizer. And I think that is pretty obvious right now with this whole situation. But I will say this, I'm going to reiterate this. For someone on the outside of that area, you know, it's very shocking. But for a family that's grown up around it, who's seen it every day, sadly, that is familiar and normal. And I think
Yeah, it doesn't make it right. But
they've
it is-
probably all been victimized mentally, emotionally, physically, and sexually. They've probably all been victimized. It does not make it right. And you know, the thing is, the older you get, the more wisdom you gain. And I think it's, like I said yesterday, I think it's time for healing. You know, this is about a missing 5-year-old child. And as far as what the public knows, what I trust as the public is what TBI and the FBI have put out. And I think we've said that repeatedly. You know, I look at the pathway in and out of the house, I weigh the statistics, and then I try to determine, you know, as an objective person, I try to determine what I think happened. But anything is still possible. Everything is on the table, and TBI has stated that. Sheriff Lawson has stated that. So
So many gets into this though, and they want to point them fingers. They can't do it with a bias, you know,
right. And you have to remain unbiased. And again,
you do.
and again, any investigation worth their salt, they're going to weigh A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and they're going to narrow it down until they can't rule that person out. And when they can't rule that person out, they can focus in and rule them in. And if they can't rule them in, it becomes a problem. That's when cases go cold. Now, I don't think this case is going to go cold, but there certainly and sadly are a lot of options of things that could have happened with this child. You know,
Unfortunately, yeah.
yeah. In regard to Heather Smith, you know, I'm going to move it aside for now, but it's up to TBI and the FBI to determine whether or not it's anything. The tip has been turned in. So I don't know if you're a man on the other end of this. And if you really are a woman and you really are a grandmother with grandchildren, you know, I am sorry for your loss. But I also want you to consider that we don't know who's on the other end of the computer until it's,
We could also, you know,
it could be anybody.
she could actually come on if she wants to. Come
Absolutely.
on, be a guest. Let's talk about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's talk about it.
I
Because
mean, because that's what we do is, you know, advocates for, you know, the missing, and it's the same thing with loved ones, you know, when you got
yes,
a deceased child.
yes.
From my heart to any mom out there,
So from your perspective, you have to consider where we're at
right?
and what we're trying to do here. And yeah. There's been other cases where people wanting attention have done such things. Written in code.
Mhm.
Written letters to get attention. And if you think that I'm paranoid, hey, maybe you're right. But I tell you this,
A right to be.
I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'd rather check it out and see if it's possibly someone who has summer than ignore it.
Mhm.
Because if I ignore it, then I'm not doing my job. And that's a sad thing too, you know, in every missing person case, there's people who want attention, there's people who troll, there's people who try to make a name for themselves, there's people who want to get in the middle of it, there's people who insert themselves in it, there's people who want to take claim for homicides that they never committed. I mean, it's insane. You know, it's insane. But what you did say, Heather Smith, about Summer Wells, in that it's tragic, it absolutely is. And she should have been cared for, and she was failed. That is true. You know, I wish we could rescue every child.
Unfortunately.
If people
There's
out there know what I have in my head and what I know and things I've seen, most of the public wouldn't be able to handle it. And when you think it's the worst you've seen, know that there's worse. And I hope for poor Summer's sake that that's not the case. I am praying for the best outcome for
If
that child.
people knew the evil that's actually out there, the evil that they are, they wouldn't be so fast
To jump.
Yeah.
And I've wasted enough of my time on this specific topic. Because again, this is about Summer.
But I mean, invite Heather on. If she wants to get on and talk, more than happy.
Sure, let us know if you're truly a woman on the other end and you'd like to join in the conversation. We're happy to have you.
Absolutely.
If you're not a woman on the other end and you're a predator, we're happy to have you.
Yeah.
Come on and talk to us. I mean, you know, I don't want to waste my time. Clear it up for us.
And if she is a grieving mom, yeah, we'd love to have you.
If you are a grieving mom, we would definitely love to have you.
Yeah.
And I'll even apologize for my sarcasm, my disdain.
As I would too. Yeah, because that goes against who we are. You know, what we're off for.
Yeah, so enough of the passive aggressive crap. Moving on. You know, everybody's talking about this thing with Blood Money Benny and Don on the toilet crapping. Who cares? Who cares? Makes no difference to me. Whether he was, whether he wasn't.
It doesn't to me either.
No.
It's just, I think things is a game to some of them. And I hate to say that because I don't like to try and discredit anybody, but from the way it seems with the hoax, with the phone call, and then you get the fakeness of they're saying it's a bracelet that she had on or wanted to look like she was going to commit suicide. Who does that? Who would want to portray?
I don't know if they did that on purpose or if that's just something that people were putting out there. But I mean, seriously, if you take that picture, because after that happened and people were calling the police, I took the picture and I blew it up and I looked at it. And yeah, it looks like just a dark band right here and a pink band going around it. And I'm like, okay, but I could see where someone would fake that.
Absolutely.
It's
And want to
like,
try to make it look like that.
you know, wow. if that's what happened. I'm not saying that's what happened because I don't know for sure. Did you hear anything saying that
No,
they?
they said it was just a bracelet, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if they planned that to be portrayed to be like a suicide, that's pretty disgusting.
Right, and then, people have to
Yeah.
question it after what just happened with Mary. I mean, I knew that call was bullshit. I told you that from the beginning.
Well,
Like, oh, here goes the social media drama, which Belinda and I try to stay out of. We don't get involved with that horse shit.
no, try and stay focused. I mean, sometimes it's kind of hard to stay focused with all of the stuff that's out there, but you got to stay focused.
And there are many other missing persons cases. We've been spending a lot of time on Summer's case, but in reality, there are many other missing person cases that we don't put on the web. And, we have better things to do with our time than to get involved with nonsense on social media. We have other things in our lives that take precedence over drama. My goal is to find the missing and to help people heal. Yeah,
Yeah, that's our mission.
it's our mission, I know you're the same way. So is there anything you would like to add, Belinda?
No, when it comes to the missing, we'll go through hell and high water to find a child or a missing person. But all the nonsense got to go.
It's
Yeah,
gotta
time.
stop. It's not productive.
Not good for the case. It's not good for nothing.
And if someone is out there just trying to elicit a reaction from you, you succeeded.
Yeah.
I'm damn sure gonna take it serious because I'm serious about this job.
Right.
All right, folks, that's all for tonight. Hopefully they'll find her soon. Hopefully she's safe. If you have any information, call 1-800-THE-LOST or 1-800-TBI-FIND. Send in the tips. If they're valid tips, please don't waste the time of sending in psychic information or any of that crap. This is up for law enforcement to solve, and we can discuss it all day long, but until law enforcement solves this case, it's still up in the air. All right, folks, have a good night. Take care.
Good night.